Good morning. I hope that all of you are well and you are healthy and you are safe. Of course, this is your girl, Carenda Deonne, your number one change agent. And it is time for coffee and chat. Do you have your coffee? I'm ready. You know me. I like my coffee decaf with a good either French vanilla or caramel macchiato creamer and just maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons of sugar. Absolutely. That's how I like my coffee. I hope that you have your coffee and maybe you don't like drinking coffee and you prefer tea. That's fine too. Grab your tea, whatever it is, and let's huddle up. Remember, this is our time to huddle up so we can get motivated for our next move. Okay? We don't have a lot of time in our coffee and chats, but it's an intimate time for us to come together so that we are ready for our next move. And here's the thing, I don't want you to be caught off guard when it comes to your next move. Because if you're caught off guard, you might miss it. I want you to be ready so that when it's time to leap, when it's time to jump, when it's time to skip, hop, run, whatever the case might be, you're not frazzled. You understand what I'm saying? You're ready. You are absolutely ready for your next move. And this is the time in which preparation is key. It is so important to be prepared. Absolutely. So, we are getting ready to go into our anger series, right? And this is going to be, I believe, a 4-part series where we're going to unpack and we're going to take aim, absolutely we are, when we think about anger. So I need you to get close. Because your next move is so important. You cannot allow anger to block you. Did you hear me? You cannot allow anger to block you. Now, as you know, our coffee and chats, it's a very intimate time. So when we launch part 2 of the anger series, be sure that you are one of the first ones to sign up because once we reach capacity, that's it. That's it. And this is going to be a phenomenal series that we're going to talk about and huddle up about because there are some things that's coming, that's forthcoming, and we have to be very sensitive when it comes to anger. When it comes to anger. All right. So I'm going to share some things. So if I kind of look away and then look back at you, it's because I have some notes here and I don't want to miss what I want to share with you. But I've recently had a conversation with someone and they shared something with me that was absolutely powerful. They said that the most confident thing let me rephrase it. There is nothing more confident than trust. Did you hear me? Maybe you need to take a sip of your coffee or of your tea right now. But repeat that after me this morning. Say that because I want you to get that. That there is nothing more confident than trust. Do you believe that? And the reason why I want you to repeat that is because if you can really grasp that the most confident thing is trust, your life will never be the same. I'm going to take a sip on that. Oh my gosh, so good. I love my Starbucks mug here. I love it. Your life will never be the same. So put that somewhere where you can read it on a ongoing basis, where you can commit it to your memory, that the most confident thing, that there is nothing more confident than trust. Trust is our anchor. So, what is trust going to teach us today? Trust is going to teach us that anger is the opposite of confidence. Did you hear me? Trust is going to teach us today that anger is the opposite of confidence. What is the definition of confidence? Confidence is trust. When you are confident in something, you fully trust. You fully are vulnerable. You fully are open. There are no hidden agendas. There are no hidden secrets, quote unquote. So trust is going to teach us that anger is the opposite of confidence. And what is the definition of confidence? Again, confidence is trust. And where there is anger, there is not full trust. Please tell me, let's think about it. The last time that you were angry about something. Don't look at me like that. Go ahead and sip on your coffee or your tea if you need to. But think about the last time that you were angry about something. You cannot tell me that in the same space where there was anger, there also was full confidence. There also was trust there because they cannot exist in the same space. And when and where there is anger, there is not full trust. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? When you are angry about something, your emotions, your mindset, and temper are unbalanced. Can we unpack it and keep it real this morning? When you are angry, think about that. Your emotions, your mindset, your temper is unbalanced. Anger keeps you off kilter. It keeps you off kilter. So when you think of a balancing beam, or of a scale, and if you think of confidence, and if you think of anger, believe me, anger is going to weigh more heavily than confidence. Why? Because your mindset, your emotions, and your temper is off balance. The expression of anger yields instability. Oh my gosh, did you all get what I just said to you? The expression of anger yields instability. There is no way you can have anger and stability in the same space. It's not going to happen. Remember that anger is defined as a strong feeling or annoyance, a displeasure or hostility. When you're angry about something, absolutely that emotion of hostility, that emotion of annoyance, that emotion of displeasure, oh, it is at its highest peak when you are angry. So just think about that. All of those emotions and thoughts and feelings have you so off balance that you're lacking stability, you're lacking confidence, and you're lacking trust. When anger exists, when anger is so prevalent in you, and when you're acting out in that sense of anger, remember that it yields instability, a lack of confidence, and a lack of trust. When I am angry, let me be transparent with you all, okay? And I hope that you will think about some things as it relates to you personally. How do you respond? What is your behavior when you're angry? When I'm angry, I cannot sleep. It's like I have insomnia. It keeps me up. When I'm angry, it fuels this feeling of displeasure. And what happens is I begin to get on the phone, text, and talk about it over and over and over again. Because that emotion of annoyance, that emotion of displeasure is at its highest peak. Now, some of you may say things that you shouldn't say. Some of you, and I've been there, I've absolutely been there. Some of you may act out in a behavior that clearly is not right because you're at this highest peak of annoyance, of displeasure, and because there is a lack of instability, my gosh, you open yourself up to so much. You open yourself up to so many things that sometimes can cost. Yeah. So you've got to be very clear on the placement of anger. We understand the emotion of it. We understand how anger makes us feel. But I also want you to grasp the placement of anger. It causes you to be off kilter, and it causes you to have instability, a lack of confidence, and a lack of trust. Think about the most recent time something or someone caused you to be angry. How did you feel? How did you respond? How did you act? What did you say? What didn't you say? And here's the thing about anger, because sometimes we think anger is such an expressive emotion that it has to, um, be displayed immediately. But I want to suggest to you that yes, when it's said and done, that emotion of anger will come out. But for some people, it's not an immediate response. For some people, they will literally confine their anger inside of them and they will hold it there, sometimes for days, sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. Do you understand? Do you recognize? Do you realize that some people hold their anger for years? I believe that there are some people who die angry. There are some people who literally die with so much anger within them. And I don't want that to be our story. That's why we're taking time to unpack this in a series because that can't be our story. Maybe you were angry because you didn't listen to your intuition. Maybe you were angry because you couldn't figure something out. Sometimes I get like that when my mind is set on figuring something out and getting to a solution and I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong or I can't figure out how to operate something. Oh my gosh, talk about anger. I mean, I have this heightened feeling of annoyance, displeasure. And please don't call me at that moment. Don't try to get me to talk at that moment. It's not a good time. It's not a good look, as they say, right? It's not a good look. But think about, were you angry because you didn't listen to your intuition? Were you angry because you couldn't figure something out, be it a project or something technical? Were you angry because, or did that anger fester more because you never talked about what the issues were previously? And now, it's just building and building and building. And if anger causes instability, causes a lack of confidence, causes a lack of trust, you're going to explode. You're going to explode. That's why you have to deal with it. Remember, you can't be annoyed and feel completely confident at the same time. Did you hear what I said? You cannot be annoyed and feel completely confident at the same time. I hope you all are really enjoying this coffee and chat this morning because it's something that we must talk about. As a matter of fact, when you allow anger to fester and build, the more unstable you become. Now you're already unstable. There's already a level of instability. You understand that, right? You're already off kilter. So if you allow anger to build, and if you continue to let it house inside of you, the more unstable you will become. Unstable in your emotions, unstable in your thinking. Oh my gosh. The more you allow anger to control you, it is an opportunity to invite sin in your life. Yeah, I said it. I know. Let's go ahead. Come on. Mm. The more you allow anger to control you, it is an opportunity to invite sin in your life. There is a scripture in the Bible that Paul speaks about, Ephesians 4:26. And when you have a moment, I want you to read it. It says, "Be angry, yet do not sin. Do not let the sun set upon your anger." Paul's saying, if you are angry, you cannot let it last long. Do you understand? If you're angry, it has an expiration date. What's the expiration date? You understand that all things have an expiration date, right? So if you're angry, okay, got it. But your expiration date is before the sun goes down. You cannot let that anger continue to fester. He says here, do not let the sun set upon your anger. If you let the sun set and you're still harboring and festering that anger, oh, you got to deal with it because there is an expiration date. Paul is saying, don't, I'm not saying not to be angry, be aware of it, but don't let it lead to sin and don't let the sun set on your anger. Now, how many of us really, as Christians, follow that? I remember times even in my, previous marriages, I would be upset about something. I would get angry about something and the sun has went down. It's nighttime, bedtime, and I'm still angry. Y'all gonna leave me out here by myself. You cannot allow the sun to set upon your anger. You cannot allow the sun to set on your anger. So, Paul is not saying to us, never be angry. He said, be angry, yet do not sin. Be angry, but do not let the sun set upon your anger. How do you move forward peacefully when you're having moments of instability, when you're having moments of lack of confidence and lack of trust? Feel it, take ownership of it, but deal with it. Deal with it. And there were some things that were happening in my life that I had to deal with that anger. Don't let it fester. Don't let it fester because the more you do, the more unstable you are, and the more you invite sin to enter in. Bitterness, unforgiveness, hatred. We're too good for that. We're too special for that. Oh my gosh. Listen, we are out of time. Be sure to join me next week. Continue to enjoy your coffee and your tea, and I will see you for our next series. Have a good one.